I survived my trip. I am up here in the forest, in the wilderness, with the bears, the chickens, and the goats, and the chupacabra, and the elephant, and what other creatures are in the Catskills, essentially. So I have made it. Only took me 7.5 hours to get here. Normally would take a normal person 2 hours, 5 minutes, according to Google Maps. But, you know, I'm a different kind of person. So it was an oddity, but the solitude and the relaxation will be totally worth it. So we're going to be getting into only 2 topics today here on our 5th edition of Space Week. So today's topic is, the first one is parenting, and the second one is Star Wars. And Star Wars is as important to me as presidents, senators, or any of this other political stuff we get into. You know, I feel like if you study Star Wars, you're doing good. You're on the right track. So let us get into it. I know I really should be doing this Star Wars video with some Star Wars paraphernalia, like my lightsabers or my Jedi robes. The thing is, like I said, I'm in the wilderness, so I don't have a warm place to drop a deuce, let alone a lightsaber. But in any future Star Wars episodes, we'll have paraphernalia. I promise you, I've got it. I got it. I'm the real deal. But we're gonna get into parenting. So as you know, I just did the camp. There was we saw a little footage of that. Obviously, I don't want to show you too much, but you know, it was with the kids, and you know, it was just an amazing experience, and I love it. I love being able to teach kids, help teach kids the Word of God. At least that's something I could get behind. Like, I would never be a teacher because I don't believe philosophically in the things that go on in schools, particularly public schools. You know, as I've said before, but, you know, I love teaching the Word of God to kids and teaching them to be good people and straight up people. And I love that. That's an amazing thing. But it's interesting. We were doing, you know, at the end, we have a carnival, huge carnival, and the kids are having fun. They create their own games. They're doing all these things. And there's like, you know, this helicopter mom who, like, I had never met before. So I assume she's like, there's a certain type of mom that volunteers for these camps. And it's usually when their kid is small. And they volunteer, and they do it for 1 year or 2 years when it's cute, and they think that by volunteering, it will give them a chance to just hover around their kid and just watch every move their child does. But really what ends up happening is we need them to look at all sorts of kids and do actual work and do things. And once they realize it's hard work, they keep sending their kid to camp, but they stop showing up. They stop volunteering. You know, they go back to day drinking their Chardonnay or whatever. So, you know, I have a feeling that she's new, so who knows? I don't know. You know, I'm not God. I can't see the future, and I don't know where her whole mindset is going. But, so she's out there, she's watching, you know, and and the kids are hosing each other down. They have dunk teams, they have all these games, they're giggling and laughing. And she goes, I don't think it's appropriate that the children are getting wet. Now, mind you, I don't know when you're watching this video, but this is a summer camp. And like, I'm like speechless. Because there's always some mom who wants to ruin the fun of the camp, right? They always the kids are having fun, and I'm not saying, it's not even like we'll be doing something dangerous. They'll be like, I don't know if children should be near acrylic paint. And I'm like, what do you want these children to do? It's ultimately this. And I feel like this was the blueprint of the world, but humans are jerks and they mess it up. But ideally, I understand that the instinct of mothers is to wrap their child in an all-consuming protective force bubble and protect them from everything in the world that might ultimately hurt them. And their job is to project weakness on their child and in order to protect them, and to say, don't do dangerous things, don't go have fun. I don't care if you're giggling and laughing. We just need to protect you at all costs, like you're the most precious cargo in the universe. I understand that's their directive. And furthermore, to parallel that, you know, the dad's job is to teach their kid, or to instill their kid with an idea that they are invincible. They need to man up. They can do any challenge, and they should always be competing and conquering. And these are two extreme ideas on two ends of the spectrum, and somewhere in the middle between, well, as the man and woman come to some consensus, that's where good parenting happens. That the kid is sometimes protected all the time, and other times forced to do challenges, but somewhere in the middle, there's like, all things are good in moderation. Once it is moderated, the kid will be well adjusted child. I dig that. But you know, and I don't know I don't know this woman. I don't know what's going on. But it was like this thing that she wanted to destroy the water games that were on a sunny day on a Friday at summer camp. And it's just ridiculous. The helicopter parenting needs to stop. And we're getting into an age where that balance that I'm talking about, there isn't a balance anymore. It's more and more that it's the mom's voice over the dad's voice. And, you know, what I'm saying is that certainly is a thing. Trust me, there are still schools where kids play football. But you know, in 5 to 10 years, football will be extinct. Because it's going to be too dangerous. They're not going to let anybody... Like, the camp that I'm at, they've already eliminated competitive sports. Like, they're like, we can't play any games where there are winners or losers. Everyone has to be on equal footing. Thanks for that. And I do it. You know, I'm not gonna cause trouble. We all have to work as a team, and I'm not gonna defy anyone. And if that's what the angry mothers of Westchester want, then you know, I'll give it to them. You know, I'll just make sure I'm obviously making sure the kids are having fun. But you know, ultimately that, and you know, I just had to speak out about that. You know, another thing was that you know, I had one dear friend. I think she's a great woman. I think she's a great mother. And we were talking about how we don't agree with, you know, the softening of children and how that's going on in schools. One of the things she said, she's like, I'm conflicted because at one point it's my job to make my daughter a good citizen. I'm like, what? It is not any parent's job to make their kids a good citizen. It is your job to make your kid a winner. It's the state that wants your kid to be a good citizen. Your state wants to conform your child and make them mediocre and make them not excel and make them respond to everything that the state wants and be obedient. But that's actually, and what it is that is against being a winner. The idea is that the world is a competitive place and you want your child to win. Right? So really your job is to make sure your kid knows how to win, you know, in these events. Because later on in life, when they don't have you to hold the hand, they are going to need to compete. And the best thing you could pray for your child is that they be a winner. Now, of course, I'm a man of God. I want you to worship God first and therefore be a good person. And look out for your fellow man. And then second objective is to win the goals. Being an obedient henchman of the state is absolutely not a parent's goal. And if you've been convinced that, you've been lied to or you've been tricked in some sort of sinister way. But I mean, let's go on. Let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into Star Wars, Star Wizzle. So my man Obi-Wan Knizzle has gotten his own show on Disney+. This is just another thing to hammer in the fact that I'm going to be watching it. You know, it was against this, whoever the Spanish pretty boy, I think he's played by Diego Luna, from, you know, Star Wars, what's that one that was, Rogue One. So he's getting a show, and I'm like, I don't even know the character's name, I don't really care. But this news, you know, The Mandalorian is going to be amazing. If you don't know anything about The Mandalorian, research it, and watch it. And then there's this Obi-Wan Kenobi played by, Sir Ewan McGregor. Don't know if he's a knight. He should be. But this is just, you know, I essentially, you know, pardon my French, I creamed my pants. This is going to be amazing. This is just blowing my mind. But, you know, so, structure of the show. So here's what's going on. Everyone is chanting, put Darth Maul in it. Put Darth Maul in it. He needs to finish. For starters, people are saying he didn't finish his fight with Darth Maul. Not only in the movies did he cut Darth Maul in half, but in Deuter canon and in things circling around it, he has attacked him and fought him time and time again. It's almost like that old chestnut is getting old. So, you know, I think there are other ideas and things that they can explore. It doesn't have to be Darth Maul. Because, you know, one thing I certainly would like to see is some cameos from Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. That would be great if he was able to do that. And I would love for them to explore some sort of romance or some sort of things, because it's what it is. Before Ewan McGregor was playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, I used to think of Obi-Wan, you know, from the old movies, from the original trilogy, as like everyone's fun, drunk uncle. Right? He wants, like, he's some guy and he's like, you're going to go on an adventure. You're going to be a man today. We're going to do crazy things. And you're like, this dude is awesome. But then he's also rambling, and you never know what he's talking about, which means he's clearly been drinking. And that's what Obi-Wan is in A New Hope. Just watch it. Like, he's a wily old man who's like, young farmer boy, pick up a weapon. We're going to go destroy the Empire. And you're like, what? And, of course, the kid wants to do it because it's fun, but it's nonsense. But Ewan McGregor put, he really embodied this role, and he created this whole thing. But I want to see other aspects. Now, I always believe that there's been an underlying alcoholism problem in Obi-Wan's life. I think that he's a drinker. Just watch the movies, trust me. I mean, there's even a line in Attack of the Clones where he's like, Anakin's like, where are you going? He goes, to have a drink. Which is one of my favorite moments. But anyway, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, cannot wait till this happens. This is how it's going on. Diego Luna, I love you. I think you're a good actor. But I don't know who you are, what you're doing. So please don't wait. Disney, I hope you reconsider, because you made a lot of false starts in this new thing. But we got to move on to some fan theory, or my fan crafting, my theory crafting for the next movie. And I know this video is going on long, but this one, so here's my fan theory for the next episode. Here's how I think it's going to lay out, and I think it's awesome. Hope you do too. I believe Kylo Ren at some point in his life was possessed by the spirit of Shri Palpatine, a.k.a. Senator Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious, a.k.a. the Emperor. He's a dark spirit, and I believe his spirit has been lingering, and at some point, maybe the boy was on a field trip to the old Death Star, or maybe Palpatine's spirit is free to go around, but I believe that he possessed him, and one of the major reasons why I think this is I believe there's a supernatural reason why Kylo fell to the dark side. Right, so he ended up falling to the dark side. And look at all the other Darksiders. They have really good reasons to become evil, vile monsters. Absolutely. This is just, the Darksiders, have had hard lives of abuse and messed up parenting or messed up situations where they're orphaned or whatever, and good reasons. Some of their people have been through genocide before, and they've felt the bad side, the horrible side of life. Which is an explanation. But am I supposed to believe, we haven't been given any reason, but am I supposed to believe that, Han and Leia were such horrible parents that Ben, their son Ben would turn into a Darksider, and not only that, kill his father? That's what bad parenting is? I mean, I don't understand the motivation or anything like that. So it seems like there should be some sort of supernatural explanation. Now, he did something that, his predecessor Vader was unable to do. He actually killed his boss, he killed his master, and became the new emperor. And I believe he's doing this because he's playing out Palpatine's desires. I think Palpatine's ghost is in his head and controlling him. And I think that Palpatine is probably going to have cloning a young body that he's going to want to possess. And I think that body is probably played by Dr. Who alum, Matt Smith. And if you really put the pictures together, which I'm going to do right here, you can kind of see that they kind of look. It is possible that Matt Smith looks like a younger version of Palpatine. Being that's going on that level, so I think at a certain time, once the spirit leaves his body, maybe into the new body, Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, will turn to the light side. So we'll have a light side him. However, on the opposite side of that, I believe that Rey is a Darksider. I believe that she was part of Palpatine's crew, and some evil, dark side, a witch or a priest, had trained her in the arts of Jedihood, mind-wiped her, and put certain objectives in her head so that she could carry out his will. One is to help bring him about, help the assassination of Snoke and all these things, but also to destroy Luke Skywalker, which, if you notice, due to her intervention, they not only found Skywalker, but it led to his death. So all these things happen to fall into line, and I believe that she will turn to the dark side in this movie. However, ultimately, I also, to wrap it up, I believe that Kylo is going to die on his quest against the Emperor. While he's a light sider, he's going to die in a very redemptive way. And at that point, Rey will be able to decide whether she's going to live her dark side, her destiny as a dark sider, or choose her own path. And I think she will choose light, and she'll be the reason that Vader, Palpatine dies. So, that is my synopsis of a movie I haven't seen, and I've only just seen like a small trailer of, and I think that I'm learned and smart enough to predict such a film. We've gone long enough. Next one, I might talk more Star Wars because I've only just started. So, I hope you are having a beautiful day. I hope you have a moment of solitude. If you haven't tried solitude, check it out. But, have a lovely day. God bless you. Be strong. Don't hover over your kids. Let your kids enjoy the water during the summer. Give me a break, yo. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel and video. And click on some links. Check out some more of my rantings. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.